the big boy, Reliance Industries, in focus because they have received a tax demand for $2.81 billion from the Petroleum Ministry in the gas migration dispute case. I stand corrected, it's not a tax demand. Mihika joins in with more details on this one.
So Reliance has received a $2.81 billion demand from the Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas. Now this demand notice is following a recent division bench ruling of the Delhi High Court, and this is regarding a dispute that started long back in 2014 between RIL and ONGC. These both companies had adjacent blocks, and ONGC claimed that Reliance migrated gas from ONGC's blocks and hence Reliance was liable to pay. Now when you look at the timeline, 2014, the dispute began when the government demanded $1.55 billion from RIL. In 2016, the government sent a notice to RIL and its partners, British Petroleum and NECO. In 2018, an international arbitration tribunal ruled in favor of RIL, but in 2023, a single judge of the Delhi High Court dismissed the government's appeal. And now in 2025, the division bench of the Delhi High Court has overturned the single judge's ruling, requiring RIL and its partners to pay $1.55 billion. And yesterday, Reliance has received a demand of $2.81 billion from the government, and the higher amount that has been demanded could be because of interest and penalties. Now, if liable to pay, then the $2.18 billion, which is roughly around 24,550 crores, translates to 31% of the last 12-month profitability that Reliance has seen. But Reliance has clarified, they say that the provisional demand is unsustainable. They're taking steps to challenge the judgment and do not expect any liability on this account. Separately, as per Bloomberg, RIL has also been penalized by the government after failing to set up a battery cell plant. Reliance New Energy Limited, which is a wholly owned subsidiary of RIL, was fined 125 crores back in 2022, and Reliance New Energy had won a bid for the battery cell manufacturing under the PLI schemes.
Thanks so much for that, Mihika. Kush, your quick take, very quick, with regard to Reliance, what's the sense?
Not too encouraging. It's broken all the key support zones. 1200 was a very stiff support zone that is broken below and sustaining below that. So for now, this downturn could perhaps accentuate a little more. 1145, 1120 are the zones to watch for on the downside. If it regains the 1200 mark, that's when some kind of a reversal perhaps could be on the cards. But up until then, the stock could remain under pressure.
Okay, Aditya Shah, your sense with regard to Reliance from a fundamental perspective, stock has fallen and it has fallen across time periods. 3% down in the last 5 days, 9% in the last 1 month, 23% in the last 6 months and 12 months, and from the top nearly down 30%. For the size that it is, what's the sense at this point? How should you look at this stock?
India moves Reliance. That's the only thing that I would say. The stock has moved to a 52-week low on the back of all of these news, but the business continues to deliver very strong results and very strong numbers from my perspective. The delisting of Jio and the Reliance Retail is going to be the next trigger for the company per se. So, in my opinion, as I've been saying over the last 6 to 12 months, this derating of Reliance is something that is beyond my understanding, and I would be a buyer in Reliance at this price. Even though the stock may fall further, I'm pretty okay with it. The prospects of the company over the next 2 to 3 years continue to be really very strong.
And this $2.81 billion liability, not a concern for you?
Of course, but it's Reliance and they work it out with the government per se. So I'm not too much fussed about the tax notice that the company has really filed.